ties it in at bottom of the 420th inning. So there's a crack in the bat. It's hit. He's running. He's rounding first. He's rounding second, completely ignoring third base. Oh, he's sliding head first into 69th base with Doug Mellard.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to 69th Base, the podcast where I make fun of idiotic sports takes in a world that no longer has sports. I'm your host, Doug Mellard. Thanks for joining. I'm in quarantine, I guess, like a lot of you guys. There's so much to talk about, even though there are no sports. There's still sports, kind of. Still plenty to talk about. It's just me today. We're going to have some fun, though. Of course, I'm going to talk about all the insanity that is around us, and I'm going to share some of my idiotic stories from what's been going down in my life. Plus, the sports world does keep moving on somehow. There was a trade deadline, or the trades are starting to happen, so that's good. Tampering, whatever. Plus, Skip Bayless. No fears, guys. Skip Bayless wants you to know that he is still out there giving you horrible sports takes. So fear not. We're all going to be okay because we can still hear him talk about how LeBron sucks. We'll talk about the NBA being shut down, DeAndre Hopkins and his trade, Tom Brady. I'll start a rumor and much more. But guys, yeah. Well, first off, I'll tell you this right now. I would rather wipe my ass with a Brillo pad than be quarantined with Skip Bayless. There you have it. I think we can all agree on that. So let's just dive in. We're in just such a weird time right now. I would assume a lot of you are indoors, chilling. I would be curious to hear some of your weirder stories. I'll just admit it. Day one, outright panic. I heard there's no toilet paper, and you guys hear how much I fart, and, sometimes it leads to other things, and I need toilet paper. I need a lot of it. So I went out there. I killed a guy over some toilet paper. I ate several stray cats, I just went hunting in the neighborhood, killed any stray cat I could find, and I've been throwing the rest of the meat in the freezer, so I think my wife and I are okay. So there's that, What if I just immediately just completely panicked? What is going on out there? Seriously, what's happening? It's all terrifying. What's it like in your town? Wherever you are, what's it like outside, huh? Isn't this crazy? What's even weirder about LA right now, it's been cold and rainy, which that's the thing that never happens, either of those, let alone together during this. This all kicked off on Friday the 13th, and it's cold and wet here, and everything just feels ominous. What do you guys miss most about the old world, huh? Do you remember going to the store and having to fight people for paper goods and, Purell? I miss it, man. It's weird. Like, you go out and you see people being normal, and then you think everything's maybe normal a little bit, and then you turn on the news and you're like, oh, fuck, things are not normal. You should not do anything. It's weird. I was walking the dog the other day and walked by. I was curious to see how the bars were doing. This was after we went out for one last time and realized we probably shouldn't do that for a bit. And we saw a bunch of bars open, and it's just crazy. People just going about their business, even though we're being told to not go about our business. It's so weird. It's such a fucking weird time. Anyway, I'm not going to say anything that you guys don't know, but I am curious, like, what your situation, what your town's like. Are people panicking? I think consistently, the one thing that is definitely across the board's the same in every city is toilet paper is gone. So weird. That's the thing. You can wipe your ass with paper towels if you had to and throw it in the trash. Or you could, get a rag or get in the shower. You can order a bidet. A lot of people are ordering bidets online for $30 off Amazon. Some people are getting nice bidets. You could, my mom, having to hear this from my mom. My mom was like, you could make a homemade bidet out of like a Dawn soap bottle. And I was like, oh, I'm not fucking doing that. That seems difficult. Seems like you'd almost need to get your loved one to do that for you. Hey, honey, can you come squeeze the Dawn up my asshole? That'd be lovely. Thank you. I'll get you next. Yeah, it's it's different times when your mom's having to tell you how to clean your asshole. But yeah, it's just weird that like you could make other ways to clean your butt. You can't make food out of things that aren't food. You know what I mean? Like you can't eat a shirt, but you can use it to wipe your ass. So just saying. That's what really freaks me out is the virus. Hopefully we can figure this out. We can stay in for a minute and then it'll blow over. It won't get worse. It's probably not what's going to happen, but it's the people, the way we're reacting. Everybody's fighting over. Mikey texted me, he saw a fight over toilet paper. That's the thing. My wife's cousin was in Denver. And he saw somebody that bought a ton of toilet paper and then sold rolls for $5 a pop outside of the fucking grocery store. That made me want to murder that guy. Don't do shit like that. Try to look out for other people. Just be a good person about this. Think about your situation, weigh it versus other people's. If you can help someone, help. If there's someone that you know might be stuck somewhere that needs a ton of help, reach out to them. Make sure they're doing okay, that kind of thing. Let's not let this bring out the worst in us, okay? Oh, man. But I will, at the end of the podcast, I'll let you know how much I'm selling toilet paper for. I'm selling Purell and toilet paper. I've got a stockpile, so just look for that. It's on my website. Oh, good God. Oh, fun times, guys. But trying to stay positive. Maybe I can see if I can speed up Fart Safari 3 for you guys and get that out there sooner than later. So there's more content to be devoured. Because we all need stuff right now. What are you guys watching? I watched Zombieland 2 last night. And got to tell you a funny story, I guess, about how I stopped being able to follow what was going on. So several nights back, I thought, hey, if we're going to be indoors for God knows how long, we should stock up also on booze and weed. Guys, I don't really smoke pot. I did enjoy it, but it started giving me anxiety. So I kind of cut way back. I basically haven't done it in a few years. But I was like, fuck it. I do enjoy it. You know, with pot stores now, they'll be able to tell me some like light strain, strain of weed. So with their advice, I get this really light weed, and I smoke it the other night. I really enjoy it. I'm having a good time. Feels good. I don't freak out or anything. Just a mellow high. It was great. It did its job. But then, the next day I feel like shit. I hadn't smoked in a while, like a couple years, so it burnt the hell out of my lungs, I think. I felt kind of borderline sick all day. And then I get in my head, do I have the fucking virus? And I'm sure a lot of you have had that same panic where you're like, do I have a sore throat? Do I have a fever? Do I have a headache? What's going on? Like, so I went through that very quickly, but then I was like, look, dude, it was self-inflicted. You know what it is. So let's just not smoke that pot. So I just thought until this blows over, why don't I cut that out because it was fucking with my lungs. It could probably push my immune system down. Maybe don't smoke pot. But let's go get some gummies because I still want to be high. So I go to the store. I say the same spiel. I need something lightweight. I'm a lightweight. Chill gummies. They're like, take these guys. This is nothing. Yeah, I was like, how much? Just eat one. They're like, eat one. See what happens after an hour. I was like, cool. They're like, it can take an hour, maybe a little bit more. Noted. Okay. That first night, we had some drinks. We still were going out in the world. We're now seeing that that's bad. Each day it looks a little worse to be going out. So we went and saw a movie, Invisible Man. Really enjoyed it. And then, but we noticed at the bar, there's no one at the bar. We're like talking to the bartender about it. We had some drinks. Later that night, I had half a gummy. And I can't really tell much of a difference. But it was mellow. It was fun. I could tell I was doing something, but nothing crazy. So last night, I have I eat a full one. I hadn't had a full one yet. I wasn't drinking this time. I thought because I was drinking prior, it would make it crazier. So sober, I can easily do a full gummy. No problem. I do. I ate the gummy. It's been an hour and a half. Nothing's happening. So I eat another half gummy. And then 3/4 of the way into Zombieland, I lose my fucking mind. I can't follow the movie anymore. I couldn't tell you what was happening. It was like I was 8 beats behind. Like something would happen and I would still be stuck mentally in the last scene because I was back there comprehending what had just happened. It was impossible. I get a little anxious. I can't feel my face, my lips, my arms. It's hard to move. I have to really like concentrate to fucking roll off the couch. And I tell my wife, I'm like, I'm a little panicked right now. I am too fucking high. And she says, there's no such thing. And I was like, good answer. She goes to bed soon after that. And I was like thinking, please don't go to bed. I am freaking out, but I don't want to be that person. So I just internally freak out. And she's like, she can tell I'm high. She's like, remember to take the dog out. And I'm like, okay, cool. I do not want to take the dog out because when I go to do that, it's so hard to walk. It was very difficult to walk. It felt like everything took forever. I get her outside. I somehow got the key stuck in the door. Not the lock, the door. The door, I don't even know. I'll have to go down there and look later to see how that even happened. I get outside and I panic because it feels like I'm being watched. I feel like everybody can see. I'm like, am I doing a lot more than I'm actually doing? It felt like in Wolf of Wall Street where they're on the lewds and it's like, what am I really doing versus what's like reality versus what I think is happening. I get out there. I feel like I'm an astronaut out in space. Like, just stay tethered to the ship. Don't go too far. I was afraid of going far away from the building because I didn't know if I was going to like pass out or like if I was going to be able to like walk back. I didn't know if I could walk back. I mean, I went 30 fucking feet from the building and I'm just panicked. I come back in. I'm like, oh, okay, that's done. That's good. And then I sit down and I'm just still anxious and I don't want to go to sleep. For some reason, I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to breathe right, so I didn't want to go to sleep. So I'm like, okay, so you're going to stay up and be anxious. That's your plan? Cool. And then at one point, I just realized how unorganized my thoughts are. So I was like, you should record how high you are. So just start talking into your phone. Record it. I do that, and then I'm thinking, you should post this somewhere. It's hilarious. I don't know if it's hilarious. I haven't listened to it yet. It's either going to be great or horrible. But then I had this idea. I was like, tinkering with the idea of another podcast. I should just start one, even if I don't know what it is right now, while everybody's just hunkered down, So one of my ideas apparently was to have a podcast where I get high and watch Sesame Street, because I've never really done either. I didn't watch much Sesame Street as a kid, and I don't get high anymore. So I thought this would be interesting. So I was like, we'll just record an episode right now and see what happens. So guys, I am excited. I am going to try to get it out there as soon as possible, but I recorded not 1, but 2 hours of me, and I'm going to split it up, I guess. 2 hours of me watching Sesame Street, high as a fucking kite. It makes no sense, I'm assuming. I haven't listened to any of it yet, but I do remember some parts where I remember thinking, the episode's over. Stop talking, because I kept talking. And I was like, how do I get this to end? And I'm arguing with myself. I'm like, you just have to stop talking, you fucking idiot, and then it's over. Push the button. We're done. but I didn't understand what that meant. So I just kept the episode going long after the Sesame Street episode had ended. I also remember many times thinking, there's 46 minutes left of this episode? How am I going to do that? And then somehow magically, like 46 minutes later, I did it. And I'm like, I don't know where that time went. I don't know how I did any of this. I'm wondering if half the time I think I'm talking, but it's really just the thoughts in my head that I thought I was saying out loud. I don't know. I'm very curious to see what this holds. I know I was still very anxious and like breathing weird during some of it. So look for that. It should, release it the next couple days, I hope. Worst case, I'll just play some clips next week on here. And again, would love to hear some of your weird stories. I can't wait to see how horrible this fucking recording is. So I had already recorded the episode, but I'm having to come back in. I'm adding a couple parts here because I was listening and I forgot some key elements. Here's one of those elements. So I forgot to mention that during my panic of me being too high, and I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before. My boy Mikey, that's on quite a bit and helps with the audio and stuff. One time, he and his brother had to babysit me, particularly his brother, for quite a while because I freaked out. I almost called 911 on myself for being too high. I had just a brief moment yesterday, couple brief moments, maybe 3 brief moments, where I was like, do I call 911? Am I going to die? I was that guy. I am that guy. I don't know what it is. I can eat mushrooms, have fun all day. No problem. But fucking pot, gummies in particular, edibles. I lost my mind and I was like, do I call 911? And then I remembered what was going on in the outside world and was like, can you imagine, even in that state, I realized, can you imagine calling 911 and wasting their time with, I'm so fucking high, man, during this fucking outbreak? Oh my God. There was a part of me that kind of wanted to do it, but yeah, that would really fuck everyone over. But it'd still be kind of funny, very selfishly, horribly not funny, but very funny. But luckily I talked myself down and then just recorded myself like an idiot. So just had to add that in there. Hope you guys are doing okay, as okay as you can be, with all the goofiness I'm just spewing out. Hope you guys are doing all right. I know this is affecting everybody in a multitude of ways. I'm hearing some horrible things out there, and I just hope everybody is doing the best they can. Oh man, yeah. I don't have any advice that you haven't heard. The best thing I can do right now is try to make you guys fucking laugh. So this is all terrible, guys. Not gonna lie, but also the most interesting times. Also, my dog is snoring really loud. If you hear that, that's Penny. She's snoring very loudly in the background. Whew. Okay. Well, guys, there still are sports. There still are sports. I mean, there's no sports, but there are. The NBA did shut everything down. That's kind of how it started. That was, I guess, the first ripple. And then even the XFL shut down. Not very extreme of those guys, but they did it. Yeah. I feel like this is the XFL's chance, you know? There's only 10 of them in the stands anyway. So now, actually, they've been doing okay. But actually, it sucks for them because they're probably fucking done. But with the NBA, I guess the latest controversy is they're talking about just canning the end of the season. I just heard this right before I picked up the microphone. I don't know how accurate this is, but I heard the controversy is they might just skip to the playoffs when they start up again. And that's obviously very controversial. I don't know what to think about. That does seem a little unfair, but these are weird fucking times, so I'll go with whatever they say is the right thing to do. The positive to all this, as much as I am obsessed with sports, I can get by with other things, and I like to create, obviously. So it's given me some opportunities to work on some things, but I can get by without sports, but the one big bonus is that I don't have to listen to as much Skip Bayless. But that being said, Skip came out and let everybody know, don't worry, guys, I'm still here for you. So he is throwing out horrible sports takes during. Can you hear my dog? Jesus Christ. Skip said that this just makes me feel like Skip just loves himself some him, because maybe he's just trying to stay relevant. Maybe he's worried about what this is going to do to the show or something. I understand that, I guess, but I think it's just him thinking what I do is important. I need to get my takes out there. So he is still taking to Facebook Live and Twitter and all that and posting videos. Luckily, it's way shorter than any of his shows. Not that I listen to a ton, because, again, it doesn't take much to get the concept of one of his takes. It's awful. That being said, yeah, well, it really was great listening to less of him, but he said he was having the toughest weekend of his life because of no sports. He admits that it's selfish. I will say that. He did say it was a selfish thing, but it's still fucking weird to just be like, what? Oh, the world, there's no sports. And that's the thing that you're the most concentrated on. Like if you're the biggest NBA fan, you still have to understand there are other things, many other things to worry about. But his big concern is there's no sports. I have to spend time with my wife now. We've never done this before. It'll be a shock if she doesn't leave him during this. Like when they actually have to spend time together. Let's see how that pans out. It'll be funny too if this is the time where he has the downtime and he discovers my podcast and then goes on a binge and becomes obsessed, and then he just realizes he's a loser. Oh boy, so weird. Yeah, I think a lot of it is just he really is worried. He's like, I gotta actually do other things. One bizarre take that he had was he thought it was so weird that Rudy Gobert and the other Jazz player got it because they were good players, as if like this disease discriminates. That made no fucking sense. You're an idiot. I was also shocked to say that he was talking about how much he washes his hands. I'm kind of surprised that he is paranoid at all. He seems like the type of guy that would think he's invincible and just think, I can't get it. I'm a tough guy. But, yeah, I think he thinks it's real. So that's, I guess, at least a good thing, because he's not putting horrible ideas into people's heads. So, like, don't worry about this thing. On Tom Brady and the Titans, he said, so Tannehill got signed, obviously. He said that he thinks Tom Brady was out on the Titans, not the other way around, which there's no way to prove that. That's just a weird thing to just claim. Also, he is, from the get-go, said there's no way he's going back to the Patriots. That bridge is burned. I always thought he was most likely going to end up back on the Patriots because it's the safest bet. I think we'd all be curious to see Tom trying to win one without Bill and vice versa, but I love that he is most likely going to be wrong on this one because Tom's not really creating a market, is what it sounds like. Tannehill stayed. It sounds like the two teams involved right now are the Bucs and the Chargers. So I don't see him going to the Bucs, so that leaves it to the Chargers. And I don't know, man. I don't know if he's going to go there, but just think it's interesting that after all this, since the Super Bowl before, we've just heard, where is Tom Brady going to go? And now we're down to it. It sounded like he was linked to every fucking team, and now really the only two teams I'm hearing, Bucs and Chargers. There's no fucking market. He didn't play that well last season. I just love how wrong he's going to be on that. As far as Dak, he is worried for Dak. Dak got the franchise tag. Wait, let's back it up for a second, though. Tannehill. Let's talk about his deal. So Tannehill Uh, I don't know about that deal. Like, I think it was the smarter bet than Brady. He did play well last season, but he didn't play well in the playoffs. So, I mean, you're taking it. They've got him for years now. Can you imagine being a huge Titans fan, and maybe you are? You get out from Mariota, and now you're into the Tannehill years. And I mean, again, he had some stellar statistics for most of the year, but he kind of floundered at the end, which is pretty important. What if that was a 1 year thing? What if it's like some sort of weird Cinderella story and he's going to fucking come back to Earth? Horrible deal, potentially. But cheers if it works out, obviously. They do get to keep Henry. I feel like he's a huge chunk of that and the reason they did so well. So we shall see. But, Henry's getting older. What if he gets injured? Then it's all down to Tannehill. Good luck with that. Back to Dak. Dak got the exclusive franchise tag. Again, I am confused on his whole take on Dak. I don't understand it because, again, he fought for Dak since he came in the league, and now all of a sudden he's saying he should take less money because he's not that good. I thought he was great. Pick a side. He said he stunk it up in Buffalo. He said he couldn't defend Dak down the stretch. He did, though. He said he's not Mahomes, so why is he asking for Mahomes' money? And yet he said he had a better season than Mahomes. This is the same guy that calls himself Never Flip Skip, so that's interesting. What a fucking jackass. Again, with Dak, I'm kind of glad, I guess, that that's the route we're going because maybe we'll be able to get out from under him. But in the meantime, he's safe enough. But I think Jerry is most likely seeing what I'm seeing and what a lot of people are seeing, which is Dak's good, but I don't think he's the guy that's going to carry you to the Super Bowl because he would have fucking done it with one of the other teams he's already had. We had some very strong rosters. If he was going to do it, he would have done it, taken us to the championship at least, So I'm kind of happy about it. And again, with Skip's confusing take, I can't tell. He seems frustrated by it. He's upset because that means Dak will probably leave, but he wants Dak to take less because he's not that good. It doesn't make any sense. What do you want? He wants his cake and to eat it too. He wants Dak, but to take less so we can get more people. We're already gonna start losing people. I am also wondering if, just to skip over the NBA for just a second again, forgot to mention this up top. I'm wondering if Skip is going to, this is going to give him a good avenue to roll back on, to bash LeBron, because he can be like, LeBron gets another break. If they fast forward to the playoffs, that's just another break, because he has, he can rest, but everybody's resting. We're all in the same fucking boat. All the NBA players, I can already see this take coming. He's going to say LeBron got another break in the year of Kobe, and they rallied around that, and then he had a short year. But so would Kawhi and everybody else. And if let's say LeBron gets coronavirus, I hate even putting that out there. This is clearly just me being an idiot and joking. But I could see him saying Jordan never would have gotten the coronavirus in his prime. So look for these horrible takes in the future. Breaking news. Does that sound like breaking news music? The fucking Dolphins took Byron Jones from us. I have mixed feelings on that because I really like him, but I also I don't want to pay him $1 billion. So, wow. Let's see what Skip's saying about that, you guys. So we lost him already because of Dak. Cool. Thanks, Dak. Already losing good players. Well, what other deals were out there? Oh, let's just get to the big one. Fuck. DeAndre Hopkins today. How many of you saw that and thought it was a joke? I literally, the first time I thought, this is a joke headline. People are bored during this horrible crisis. Nope, it's real. They give him to the Cardinals for a second-round pick and David Johnson. David Huntsberger, who's on pretty frequently, messaged me and was like, well, they didn't want to, they couldn't afford him, so they're trying to get something in return, but it still seems like you could get more in return. DeForest Buckner just got traded. He got a first-round pick. You'd think Hopkins, what the fuck are they doing? What are the Texans doing? They're going to be nothing next year. I don't see how. Deshaun is really good and he is evolving, but he needs DeAndre. They have to make that second round pick turn into another DeAndre Hopkins. That's what I don't understand with these trades, like Khalil Mack. Like, all right, you traded Khalil Mack. He was young and a future Hall of Famer. One of your draft picks better be Khalil Mack again. Like, I just don't understand the fucking logic in that. And if it was over money, like, I get it, but couldn't you have ridden him out for one more year and then got a comp pick? Why not do that until you have like another plan in place? Maybe they have more draft picks next year. I don't understand what that was, because David Johnson also has a very big contract that they took on. Can't you at least get Arizona to fucking eat that contract? Oh man, Mikey, who is obviously like a big part of this podcast, he was not happy. He's a Texans fan. He was freaking out. I was trying to talk him down a little bit with the money thing, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, no, this is bad. I'm sorry, buddy. This is very bad. What a horrible fucking shit show. On top of everything else, not only is he like a top, 2, 3 receiver, at times number 1 for a running back that, like, I love David Johnson when he was coming out. He was killing it. He was my fantasy guy. Loved him. But it sounds like he is done. So you're going to take on a guy that's done. When Carlos Hyde had a serviceable season, he was fine. Much cheaper. I can't understand any way. What I was getting to, DeAndre Hopkins, he's like the heart and soul of that fucking team. I would argue he's the guy above Deshaun on that team as far as like fan base wise. So good luck next year, the Texans. Sorry, Texans fans. That is complete horseshit. I am sure you really wanted that on your plate on top of everything else that the coronavirus is doing to your life right now. You're like, oh, yeah, let's have our team gutted so that, hopefully things get normal again. I can enjoy the Texans. Oh, nope, can't do that either. Noted. Okay, cool. Oh, man. Bill O'Brien. He did make that Laramie Tunzel trade. It looked horrible up top, but that ended up being okay. But this one, I don't see it unless David Johnson just goes back to his old ways, which is unlikely. I root for him. I hope it does, but even if that were the case, I feel like receivers can do more these days. I don't know. He is really desperate for a running game. I feel like with a running back, you can probably get a steal in the draft. Why not just sign Melvin Gordon? I don't know. It's got to be somebody out there. David Johnson, I read an article on it. It sounds like teams could have got him for like a 3rd or 5th rounder or something. Texans give away DeAndre Hopkins and a draft pick to give a second. It just makes no sense. He's got a huge contract and he has injury issues. I read an article from, I think, Bill Barnwell on ESPN, and one of the first things he brought up was like, when I first saw this, I wondered, did DeAndre Hopkins lose a limb? Thought that was so funny. That was great writing. Meanwhile, some good trades. It looks like Calais Campbell went to the Ravens. That's a fair deal. The Jaguars are just unloading. They're just starting over. And then, meanwhile, the Browns signed Alex Hooper from the Falcons, the big tight end stud, like the biggest tight end to hit the market. And I think the Falcons replaced him with Hurst from Baltimore in a trade. And it looks like the Browns weren't done dealing. They also got Conklin, which was a big O-line free agent, and Case Keenum. So the Browns continue to stockpile, but then take that stockpile and burn it into the ground. So once again, you guys are doing great on paper, but let's see if you can make any sense of it. So good luck, Browns. Good luck with the leadership from Baker Mayfield. Also, Kirk Cousins, meanwhile, signed an extension. It's just funny that guy just continues to thrive. Not the worst, but definitely not the best. Phillip Rivers and Tom Brady still out there. Where's that market, guys? Where's Tom Brady going to go? I still say Patriots. What do you think? I didn't plan enough for you guys, and since it's going to be so light, and a lot of people are quarantined, I'll throw in a little bonus story. A while back, God damn it. Why do I fucking put all this shit out there? A while back, I went out drinking with one of my best buddies out in Austin. We were young bucks, just getting out there, getting crazy the night before, and we probably get stupid blackout drunk. Be careful and be responsible when you go out there. Don't be an idiot and just try to recreate my stories that are all terrible. But partied it up. We had a good time. And then the next day, or that night or whatever, middle of the night, my buddy goes home or whatever. I wake up in the middle of the night so hungover, so thirsty. You know that, like, where you just wake up and you can't move your tongue because your mouth is so dry. I've got that. So I can you can't get to the refrigerator fast enough to get the water and just start chugging water straight from the Brita pitcher, basically. So I go to do that. It's probably like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I go out. I'm naked. I don't sleep naked ever. This is a rare time where I do get hot very easily in that specific apartment. If I partied too much the night before, drank too much, I might wake up naked because that room, the way the lights came in, the sun came in, it was just so blazing hot in the summertime in the Texas heat. So I'm so hot. So I was just completely naked. I'm walking to the kitchen. It's a studio apartment. It's like tiny, but I'm walking out there. I'm like waking up. I'm barely awake, just stumbling through the apartment. Because I had been asleep, I have like morning wood or whatever, and I walk out. My friend didn't leave. He was asleep on the couch. I see him. I thought he was gone. I thought I was alone. I've got a boner, and I see my friend, and what I should do, because he was passed out on this tiny couch I had, what I should have done, he's completely out. He was as fucking drunk and tired as I was. Should have just seen him and quietly jump back into the room. But instead, I see him, and I made like a weird scream. I just go, ah! And that draws attention to me. So now he looks up, and I just like cover as much as I can and then literally dive backwards into my bed. And I'm so fucking embarrassed. And I'm sure I get the water. I think I probably waited like 30 minutes to go back to sleep. I'm just so fucking embarrassed. And this is like, we go way back. Like, if anything, we can just laugh about it immediately. But it was just, for whatever reason, just thought it was such a dumb, horrible thing. So the next morning, I was just like, so about the middle of the night, he had no idea. He didn't see anything. But so then I'm outing myself, and I'm telling him a thing that like he can now still make fun of. That didn't have to tell him. Should have just gathered that he didn't know anything, and then left it at that. But no, I was like, well, here's what you almost saw. Just thought it was funny that like I drew attention to it instead of, which was the complete opposite of my objective there. It's end times, guys. Be safe out there. Get your toilet paper. That's all we need. It's the currency now. I do have to start a rumor. I guess there it is. I don't know if you guys heard this, but Skip Bayless is the one that has all of the toilet paper. He has all of our toilet paper. And he has just gone crazy with it. He's burning some of it. He's just flushing some of it without using it. He's throwing some of it away. He's feeding some of it to his dog, which was really fucked up. He's just up in his mansion or whatever on a hill overlooking all of us like the Grinch while we go through all this. And he's just stockpiling that toilet paper. And he's just laughing at us. Just us with our dirty assholes. He's just like, man, I've got the one clean asshole in Whoville during the coronavirus. That's what he's saying. He thinks it's so funny. So you heard it here first. So there's that. So I am excited about this other podcast. I don't know. I have like other ideas for a podcast. I don't know if I'm going to launch multiple or just the one. Maybe it'll just be a different thing every week. Stay tuned. But the first one, I think I owe it to you guys. I'm telling you about it. Got to put it out there, right? Me just getting high, talking about nonsense. I will give it a listen first and filter through it because maybe it's just you can't even listen to it. But I'm curious to see what that's all about. Whoa, Jesus Christ. Update. I was about to end it. And as of 7 hours ago, it's saying the Chargers and Bucks are the only ones in the Tom Brady market. But now there's another source saying it's down to the Buccaneers and Patriots. Are you fucking kidding me? Apparently, according to NBC Sports, the 49ers said no to Tom Brady. That was from yesterday. Good Lord. It's saying that Tom Brady is the loser in all this because of Tannehill. Can you believe it comes down to somebody's taking Tannehill over Tom Brady? I mean, he's getting older. That shouldn't be. I don't like Tom Brady, but I shouldn't hold the age thing against him. But fuck you, Tom Brady. Ha. I just love that he was so excited and thought he was going to have this huge market, and it looks like it's shriveling. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in this week. Like all of you, I'm going to try to make the most sense out of all this shit and sift through everything and see what's what. Normally at the end, I'll plug a few things. I will say this, do me a huge favor. You might have a couple extra seconds here. Give me a rating, give me 5 stars, say you love me, all that shit. That helps a ton. So that'd be helpful. Help your boy out. Yeah, as far as plugging shows, I don't really know what to say other than stay tuned. But I've got a number of shows coming up, but I don't think that I do at the same time. So I hope some of this stuff, obviously, I'm hoping if we all stay indoors for just a minute, maybe the shows will come back later. So let's see. But in the meantime, I don't want to announce any shows and then they just get like pulled back. So I don't want to know until I know for sure about anything. I will say I was very excited about, I'm booked solid through July, pretty solidly. So I was very excited about all those things and I hope I get to see you. As of right now, David Huntsberger and I think on the last episode I said that we were maybe putting a tour together. That's looking less likely because of a week's difference. But I think you guys all get it. We're just in weird times. So in the meantime, I'm going to try to put more out there through this and the other podcasts and try to get my album out there sooner and all that. And just try to have, silly shit out there for you guys to fucking download and whatever. In the meantime, wash your hands. And, yeah. Best of luck to all of us, okay? Stay healthy. Don't get corona. There's easy advice. Just don't get it. Okay? Just don't get it. I think that's something we should all fucking do right now. Just don't. It's real easy. Okay? There. Solved everything. You're welcome, guys. All right, guys. Well, tune in next week. There will be less sports, so we'll see what happens there. But I'll bring you something. Sorry I didn't fart into the microphone this week. But again, listen for my high podcast where I'm pretty sure I farted a lot. Had a lot going on in my body during that. So look for that. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
69th Base with Doug Millard was recorded in front of a live studio audience presented by Hormel Chili Radio Productions.